Anything stand out to you from yesterday that changes your view?
Yeah, I think the interesting part is their statement on the property market, that they mentioned the supply-demand dynamic of China's property market entered a new period or new phase, which I think is quite accurate because, 5-6 years ago, when China started to emphasize that housing is for living, not for speculation, it was a time that asset bubble was a key concern of the economy, that the property sector potentially sucked away too much of the resources for the real economy, away from innovation, from manufacturing sectors, and accounted for too much of a household allocation, asset allocation. But now, that's no longer the problem, right? The key problem in China's property market now is people losing confidence, people worried that property is a depreciating asset, and if people are not investing, buying properties that have a chain effect, potentially a downward spiral of, negative wealth effect, hurting consumption, hurting economy, property-related sector leading to more unemployment. So that downward spiral is something policymakers need to stop soon enough, right? And in the past 12 months, we've seen many of the piecemeal policies, a bit mortgage rate cut, some purchase restriction here and there, but those haven't been effective. So I think at this point, with the Politburo statement, we could potentially see some more fundamental changes to how to look at China's property market. What is the key issue to address, and potentially a more holistic approach?
Have you heard enough, though, to turn bullish on property stocks, for example?
I think the statement in itself is a good start, but certainly not enough. It's really important that in the coming days and weeks, we see continued strong messages coming from different parts of the government agencies and bureaus, not only monetary easing, but, we need to, I think the confidence issue on, property price, especially in first top-tier cities, can go up. That will be the key message to deliver to the home buyers because, if property price goes down, it's very hard to convince people to buy a depreciating asset.
Winnie, what's going to be the next thing to watch then, right? We got through this Politburo meeting. I know there's a plenum meeting that's happening August, September. I mean, are earnings going to be something that's going to help this market in any way, too?
I doubt it. I mean, I think currently earning expectations are still not low. And the second quarter, we've seen those economic macro data. Second quarter was not an easy quarter. So I don't think earnings, overall, at economy level, I don't think earnings are a big positive driver. But I think it's really, the policy measures. And as I said, we need to see soon enough, right? In the coming weeks or even days, we need to see follow-on policy measures or even just a statement of, injecting confidence in the economy and potentially, like a reinterpretation of what does housing is for living, not for speculation mean? Does it necessarily mean that property price cannot go up? Or does it mean property price can go up, but more in line with, the household income growth and nominal GDP growth? If people see property price can go up 5-10% per annum on a sustained basis, I think that's good enough.
Wax and Wane. Of course, that's your index. What are you looking at in terms of valuation, positioning, leverage? How's it looking so far?
Wax Wing Index in the past 2 months actually has been trending higher directionally because liquidity is very abundant, with the June LPR cut, bond yield, interbank rates trending down, and the positioning has gone lower. Valuation is attractive. So, the negative thing is the fund flow. In the past 2 months, whether it's, the southbound or whether it's the major Asia major fund investment, those fund flow wasn't very supportive, wasn't very strong. But as I said, currently positioning expectations are low. People are skeptical. As you can see, we had one-day rally yesterday. So, the key thing to watch next step is really if there are more, concrete policy measures coming out.